Hey, Ranger fans, welcome to Rangers Daily. It's another game day. I'm Todd Werwa, your host. Should be a good one. New Jersey Devils at Madison Square Garden. Should see some more of the regulars. Should see most of them, actually, except for one. JT Miller, he's still hurting after his injury in practice the other day. So Mike Sullivan said he won't be playing. He said they're erring on the side of caution, but things are tracking well. Should be back in the near future. At least that's what they believe. So hopefully he's back for opening night. Hopefully he's back maybe for a preseason game against Boston over the weekend before we get the season started. So they're trying to handle it the right way with that. Mika's moved to center. There have been a few things that have been thrown off because of JT Miller's absence. But again, Miller will not play against the Devils, but we should see a healthy dose of pretty much all the regulars. And one of those we hope to get back is Artemi Panarin. He's been playing on the top line along with Trocheck and Cooley. Mika's been the second line center, obviously with no JT Miller, but the team wasn't saying as of Wednesday whether Panarin was going to play. They were going to figure it out, see how he responded after practice. But he's looked good. He's back with a regular contact jersey. He was seen doing long passes along the ice with Matt Rempe, just the two of them, seeing Rempe all the way across the ice, yet still looking tall. Didn't matter how far away they shot him, he still looks huge. Just flinging long passes back and forth with Artemi Panarin during break in practice and training was a lot of fun. Good to see those guys maybe building a little relationship. Who knows? Maybe in a power play mix-up, Rempe will find himself in front trying to deflect an Artemi Panarin shot into the net on a power play. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Like I said, Mika was at center in between Gabe Perreault and Alexis Lafreniere, obviously with no Miller. The interesting part was with Sam Carrick out, Noah Laba was between Edstrom and Rempe on the fourth line. So give Laba some credit, a little flexibility. We'll see how they use him. And again, he's one of those guys that has been the story of camp, hoping to make an impression and get to stay with the big club. We'll see, but if he can play with those big guys, gives them a little more flexibility. We'll see whether he can dethrone, quote unquote, dethrone Parsonen as the third line center. We'll see what Sullivan wants to do. There's a lot he could do, but a lot of it depends on him being willing to take risks. You know, starting two young guys. Could he start Perreault and Laba? Could he only have Perreault make team? Could he go with all veterans and not have those guys make it? There's still a lot left to see here in training camp. So all a guess right now. Let's take a look, though, at the defensive pairings because those may be locked in. So some good sound today from Mike Sullivan about the Gavrikov-Fox pairing. I think they love it on paper, but they haven't seen enough yet in games. So I would think you'll see a healthy dose of it against the Devils. Get to see Gavrikov and Fox together. Sullivan was effusive in his praise of Gavrikov, just in what he brings, no matter what pairing he's on. But they want to see the two big guys, those two main guys, be the pairing at first. He said, on paper, we believe that has the potential to be a really good pair. So we'll give it a chance, but we haven't seen them enough in game action to fully assess. So we'll give them a chance. It's it's funny speak. Yeah, we'll just give the two best defenders on the team a chance to play together. But that's what they brought Gavrikov in for, to be a steadying influence, hold up play, assert play, and build chemistry like Adam Fox had with Ryan Lindgren. Now, that takes a lot of time. That takes way more than 2 preseason games, but give it a chance, let it develop, and you figure it'll develop pretty quickly when you've got two defensive players that are of such high quality. Now, that means it's Susi and Borgen as defensive pair number 2, and right now, Urho Vakanainen and Braden Schneider as pairing number 3. Vakanainen did not have a good game against the Islanders. His game score was really low. You saw him get burned around the edge a few times. So I think that spot may be up for grabs, and it depends on what Scott Morrow brings to the table. He's been QBing power play 2 pretty much all of training camp. They like what they see from him, but Sullivan talked uh, about Morrow needing to learn the subtleties of playing the position. When you have one hand on the stick, when you have two hands on the stick, when you set up a straightforward gap, when you set up a lateral gap. He's thrilled that Morrow is a Ranger, but knows there's still a lot for him to learn. The big question then becomes, does he learn that as the seventh or maybe sixth defenseman, and play the third pair? Or does he learn that at Hartford and they bring him in once they feel he's shown that improvement? A little bit like we talked about with Othman, showing some of that 200-foot game defensive improvement, and he'll have his chance. There's no doubt Morrow will have his chance. The question is whether he stays with the big club, either as seventh defenseman or sixth defenseman, or whether he starts the year with Hartford. So we'll see. Those are some of the battles that are coming up in the coming days. Again, October 7th is the first game. Saturday is the final preseason game, a day game up in Boston. So there's some time left to help the coaches make their decision easy, but we'll see how it plays out. Now, one of the more interesting things, I was looking at the Rangers Reddit feed, which now I'm prone to do for story ideas. And there was a real good one from a college kid who's doing a design project for his college class. And he chose to do a sports logo and chose to do a New York Rangers logo. And he just threw the idea out there, hasn't submitted any ideas or anything like that, but he asked a couple of questions. Said, what elements of the Rangers logos, past or present, do you think define the team's identity? Interesting. And are there symbols, colors, or styles you think would look good on a modernized or alt design? So he's trying to take it in a different direction. And, when you get a creative person in the design field, who knows what this person could come up with, but I look forward to seeing what could be out there. Someone in the comments, of course, suggested traffic and congestion. Thanks for nothing. True, but wouldn't look good on a logo. Someone also said the NYC skyline with NYR spelled out in the negative space. Again, another interesting concept. So I'm interested to see what your thoughts are. Again, you can post your comments down below. Please post comments. I'll go through them as they come in, and we can talk about them on some shows upcoming. But a couple of my thoughts. I love the shield. I think the shield is, and you can see it back there over my shoulder, but of course it's also down there. Whoop, it's also right there. But I think the shape and the shield, I think it brings a toughness. I won't say, it looks like a police badge or police shield or a fire department shield, but I think the shield brings a lot of toughness, and I think it brings a togetherness. I love the red, white, and blue, but I think we've seen it done in chrome. I think for one of the Stadium Series games, we've seen it, you can see it in a couple of different colors. Obviously for Pride, they've done it in rainbow. They've done it for a variety of Heritage Nights in some different colors. Obviously the red, white, and blue, is the perfect symbol for the greatest city in the world. But I love the shield. Now, this is obviously the 100th season. I have the 100th logo. You can see it right there. It's obviously a little different, takes some different shape. For the 90th anniversary, I've got the hat here with the logo, and it's interesting. It's a little different shape. It's not that squared off kind of shield, but still more of a classic sort of old school kind of shield. And you can kind of notice there in the writing, it's a little more formal. That seems to be what the Rangers are using in the 100th anniversary official logo that they're using, like on MSG, for their wipes on the broadcast and their print logo. It's not the usual New York Rangers font like you'd see in the logo right there down below. It's a little more formal, a little more of a combination of some of the old and the new. It looks really good. I wish they would, I love the dark, sort of the MSG jersey where the sleeves look like the outer lights of Madison Square Garden with the big crest, with the big shield on the front of the jersey. I love those dark navy jerseys. I think they look really cool. They could add some more flourishes, put some better shoulder patches on it maybe. make it look less, maybe a little less like a practice jersey, incorporate a little more silver in it, maybe a little more white. But I love when they have that shield, that crest on the front. Just looks good. The diagonal, of course, is, it's a Rangers original. It stands out. The active lettering, it's tremendous. We're not changing. This is all just a fun project. We're not redesigning the logo and changing it just, because we don't like it. We're having a little fun with possible design ideas. But, the Rangers look is so good that it's tough to change. But anyway, I found it interesting that someone wanted to give it a shot, from scratch, build something new. So I'd love to hear your ideas. Again, place them down in the comments below. Once I get a couple of them, I'll run through them on the show and see what we can do. Or if the user posts a few early sketches, I'll make sure to bring those to the show as well. So again, it's game night. Rangers taking on the Devils. Should be great. Should have, at least for the Rangers, a good lineup in there. Don't know who the Devils will send. I would doubt, I wouldn't think Luke Hughes would be in there, even though he's finally signed. It's a little too early to get him back on the ice, but it's always good between the Rangers and Devils, always feisty. And so it's the second to last preseason game. I'd love your comments. I'd love you to subscribe, and please ring the bell for updates. This is Rangers Daily. I'm your host, Todd Werwa. Enjoy the game.